welcome back to Tits, Tums and All Things Mum, 100th episode! Oh my god, I can't believe we've made it to 100 episode, and I've got all of my amazing past guests here, incredible women in one room. Yay. This is the best day ever. Like, having ADHD and getting to 100 episodes, I'm like, how the bloody hell have I done this? But we're here, and I've got so many people to thank, and they're going to be here with me on the couch today, spinning the amazing wheel of fortune or misfortune. I think probably misfortune for you guys as well. But it's going to be an amazing episode, so stay tuned in for a hot seat style episode, 10 minutes per group, and we're going to get to chat to some amazing ladies. So first up, we have Laura and Amber. Come on, guys. Look at your fancy frock.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you, ladies?
Good.
You're all good?
Thank you, yeah.
You're first up. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fabulous.
She feels great. I'm like,
fabulous. I'm like, having palpitations a bit over
slightly.
So, do you want to, since you're feeling fabulous, do you want to go first and start by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I am a business consultant and an intuitive. So I predominantly help women that are busy mums, female founders that really want that freedom, and they really want to have what I always say is this and that. So I think that people think that you have to have either be the mum or you have to choose the business. What I really help women to do is find a path to really lean into self-care so that they can do both. In a way that isn't going to burn them the F out.
Yeah.
Because I think I speak for everyone in this room, and I've had a few conversations with some amazing women in the room, and it is hard to do that.
Yeah.
It's really hard, and there is ways to do it though. There are ways that you can really find a path so that you can lean into rest. And I know that you've spoken about many times, and we've had private conversations as well, about rest and how it's hard, especially with ADHD, which
I'm looking at you, Amber.
I'm diagnosed ADHD as well, and I know I've got it, but for me, rest is really difficult, switching myself off, but through the tools of tracking the menstrual cycle, which is obviously what we spoke about on our episode, you can learn that your body can tell you everything that you need to know. And when you're on that brink of burnout, instead of pushing against it and going like, no, I can do this. Anybody relate?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like leaning into that and saying, what is my body trying to tell me?
We all need a bit of you in our lives, because I feel like as mums we just push and push and push and try to do it all, but there is this myth of we can do it all, and I think somewhere in society we are taught that we are supposed to do it all, and I think we need to scale it back sometimes and just realise that we don't need to do it all, and we can take a break, focus on self-care, focus on what we want to do, not even necessarily self-care. Like, if you want to, it could be a form of self-care. If you want to excel in business, if you want to do something that makes you feel like you again, you should be able to do that without feeling guilty that you're not, with your kids or doing something.
It's honouring seasons of your life as well, isn't it? It's understanding, okay, I'm in this season of my life right now, and actually I need to do this, and then when you move on to another season of your life, you can move stuff around, kind of thing.
100%. And it's really finding that place within you to plan more, to actually take that time out. And obviously when you track your menstrual cycle as a woman,
buzzing, ovulating today.
Yes. Woo! She planned it out. Yes.
Love it.
When you know your pattern. So for me, day 5 is like go time. I can conquer the world. Day 5. Day 27, keep out of my way because it's not going to be nice, and I know that, and I wouldn't schedule an important meeting for my business. I wouldn't record a podcast, but actually, funny enough, through me tracking my cycle, I find that actually when to batch my content for some spice is like day 20 for me, and we're all so unique.
Yeah.
And when you know this about yourself, and when I first started talking about this back 6 years ago, I talking about the bleed and the menstrual cycle and time blocking, people were like, what is she going on about?
Yeah.
Especially when I was talking about women that can do it in a way that's with the chakras, then they were like, what is she talking about? But we are energy. You know,
this is a bit of me.
We are energy.
I'm into
It's a
it.
match made in heaven
Yes.
right here.
and the thing is that we are, if you think about the moon, it's actually causing the tides. We're made up of 80% water, and you can change so much in your life when you can understand that. And of course your children are going to be there, your husband's still going to be there on those days where you're feeling ratty, but you can turn around and say, today is not the day.
And I am not the one.
It's off.
Yeah.
And my husband's really, really learned, and he understands it, and he's really good. But
We
it's
need
because
to give
I've
our husbands lectures, please.
you need to give it.
I know.
You need to do that. But yeah.
Amazing. So Amber, tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Not as accomplished as you. So I'm Amber. I'm a ADHD and autism content creator. So I'm autistic and ADHD myself. I was actually diagnosed with autism as a child, which is quite unusual for someone my age. And the ADHD come much, much later, a week before I turned 30. And I have a 5-year-old who's also autistic, so I spend a lot of my time kind of making content, not around him, but around kind of my journey of being a parent, because when I became a parent, I didn't know anyone that was autistic who was a parent, and I had no one to talk to about it. I thought I was weird, and I remember going to a midwife appointment and she went, I'm just going to put you have anxiety because we don't want any of it on your form. So I then learned, okay, I can't talk about this because I don't know, my kid's going to get taken off me or something. So I was worried, and actually by talking about it, it's just opened up so many conversations in people in my life and other people's lives. It's helped people get diagnoses of their own, and yeah, that's kind of it really. I just want to keep kind of going with that and raising more awareness and making changes really in terms of like the stigma that is attached to these things. I think especially as a mum, because it's like you can't be seen as like being a woman and being feminine and being a mother and being that kind of nurturing figure whilst also having a disability, especially when it's a disability that not everyone understands. So
Amazing. And how is it for you parenting, having ADHD and autism yourself and having an autistic child? Because surely those things just don't seem to fit together.
I was going to say, sometimes it's kind of like we set each other off quite a bit because his traits are very different to mine, and that was something I didn't understand when I had him. I thought, he might be the same as me, but what you don't realise is that everyone is so individual. Of course we all are, we're all human. You don't realise how people's traits are really, really different. But in a way it's been quite nice because I've been quite intuitive with him, just to kind of use your word a little bit. There's a lot of things that I do with him naturally that I think if I was neurotypical and the first person I met who was autistic was my child, I can't imagine how scary that is, for one, and two, how I would probably approach things quite differently, like without knowing. So actually I've been able to kind of do things for him in a way and kind of go with him rather than fighting against it, as it were.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And I've realised I'm a dickhead. I didn't press the timer.
That's all right.
So
Has someone got a stopwatch?
let's spin the wheel.
Do you want to go or should I?
You go first.
Are we doing one spin? One spin.
Well, we'll see how we go time-wise. I'm just going to keep looking at Darren for how long we've got.
Okay.
Go.
Ooh.
I'm nervous for you, Amber.
I know, so am I. This is pressure.
Okay, something you've learnt about motherhood.
Oh. Go first.
You smacked the wheel.
I spanned the wheel.
You smacked the wheel.
Damn. Something you've learned about motherhood. In terms of, I need specifics here, guys. I'm autistic. Narrow that down for me.
Yeah,
so
it
about
could be something
me,
about you,
general,
about parenting, anything.
I think I've learned mostly that, how can I word this? Everyone is so individual, and the only person that knows your kid and what they need is you as their parent. And no one can tell you otherwise. I get messages, without exaggeration, every day from parents who are like, oh, my son's school are saying this, or, oh, you know, my husband doesn't agree. There is nothing more powerful than a mother's gut and a gut feeling. And when my son was first born and I was sort of going, oh, you know, this and this, and there was a few different things. He had tongue-tied colic, God knows, name it, he had it. And everyone was kind of going, no, it's not that. And from the word go, I learnt to really trust myself. Because I'd been so kind of highly masking my whole life, I never trusted myself because God forbid I actually let my guard down and people see what I was really like, it would cause chaos. So I kind of tried to be the perfect mum who would go to every baby group. Like I went to everything that there was on offer. And I think lockdown was quite a big wake-up call for me, actually, that I couldn't just go like that. I couldn't just be on the go all the time. I had to actually sit with my baby and actually enjoy him. And so in a way, as much as lockdown was awful, in a way it did bring that, which was a positive. But yeah, I think that was the main thing. I actually learned in a very cheesy way to trust myself and trust that I did know what I was doing. And even now there's different things that come up all the time. He's at school now, and if anyone's got a neurodivergent child at school, you know what it's like. That it's, you know, you've got Susie Senko telling you one thing, and then you got I don't mind, it's not me going against Senkos, by the way, there's some amazing ones out there. No, there's some amazing Senkos out there, but and I'm not saying my son's isn't, but that, you know, there's a lot of different people saying different things is more my point. And there's a lot of different opinions about things, and you're, as a parent, you have to kind of sit there and go, no, wait, I know my kid and I know this is what they need. And you've got to be quite strong to do that. And not everyone, before I had him, I was the biggest people pleaser going. So yeah, that's definitely what I've learned from that.
Amazing. I love that.
I love that.
You're right.
I love that so much. I want to hug you.
Hug it. You can if you want that.
I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Right, okay. Ooh, what am I going to get?
Go on, get a juicy one.
Yeah, get a naughty one. I just saw the word poo come up. Oh, there we go. Yeah, poo. Sorry.
Did I poo during labour?
Did I poo during labour?
Amber manifested that question.
Sorry.
So I've got 2 children, and my son is actually 20 next week.
Sorry.
20 years ago.
20-year-old.
Yes, my son is 20 next week, and that one definitely didn't poo in that one. I had an epidural. I might have pooed, but I can't remember.
Oh, you don't know.
I was pretty high as a kite. And then my daughter, who is going to be 4 in June, and she's just gorgeous, proper pandemic baby. I had her in a birthing pool, and I'm pretty certain I did poo.
Just a little floater.
Pretty sure, because I went in the room. It was so beautiful. It was really beautiful. I hired a doula. I had 4 midwives there at the time she was born, and I manifested it literally. I'd because I had such a horrific birth with my son, I did so much hypnobirthing, and when I was visualising it, it was nighttime. Well, I wish I didn't do that, because I started going into labour like 6 o'clock in the morning, so it was like 9 o'clock, started getting dark. And it was like, my body was like, right, it's time now because it's dark. And I had all the candles, and it was beautiful. But the next day, so my husband was in the pool as well.
You pooed on your husband?
I think so. And the next day I went in the room. Oh my God, it was horrific.
Oh God.
But beautiful.
Did you have to clear that up after?
No.
So you have to, I can't really remember. I think the doula came and done it.
Oh, I'm sure she's seen it all before.
A doula's job's to clear out shit.
I
don't know, I think I did, but I might not have done. It was pretty grim in there.
I guess you would never really know, unless you've got an honest midwife that's like, yeah, you shit in the pool. But natural labour, that is something.
Yeah. Good stuff. I was just gassing her.
Yeah, amazing.
And I don't say that with a medal. I say that as in like I was deprived. I wanted the and no one gave it to me. And then they took the gas and air off of me because it was almost like affecting me on a sensory level. Like I kind of didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And the other day actually I interrogated my husband. I was like, "Did I poo?" And like I don't know what made us talk about it, but we did. And I was properly interrogating him. And I was like, "No, tell me I can take it. Did I shit?" And he was like, "No, you didn't." And I was like,
because of the question.
"Yeah, I think so." I actually interrogated him the other day. That's like honeymoon
Did
chat.
you, Lottie?
No, I didn't.
That is the question.
I didn't poo either time. I must have a really strong sphincter.
Really strong buttonhole.
I'm proud to say that. How are we doing time-wise, Darren?
It's gone out the window.
Is it gone? Is it gone?
This is going to be a very eye-opening experience for you.
On that note, ladies, thank you so much for coming to the
lower
couch.
the tone.
Thank you, darling. On the couch, we have Elizabeth and Carrie. I'm going to wait till bums on seats and then I'm going to actually press the timer this time. Winner. Are you ready? Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Come on, you fixed it.
Oh, bother.
No fucking time.
No.
What am I... What do I do?
Well, this is a bit awkward.
And this is a really good outtake.
It's gone green. It's gone green. Is it not? Are we not doing timer then?
I'll time it.
You time it. So it's just
Give or
here for
take.
decoration.
Just turn your iPhone up the other way.
Just here for decoration, and now it's gone green, so it doesn't even match. Excellent. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the couch. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah, feeling great.
Woozy.
Bit
The
sweaty.
prosecco flowing enough now that you've chilled out a bit.
I mean, I was driving, so
no
no,
Oh, no. Can't even use that one. So, could you start, Elizabeth, by telling us a little about yourself?
Yes, hello, I'm Elizabeth. My Instagram page is Milking at Mama. Give you some encouragement. I mainly focus talking about infertility and recurring miscarriages. Cue the laughter. So yeah, that's what I try and talk about. I try and raise awareness on it. So I suffer with recurring miscarriages. So talking about it has really helped me deal with it, and then in turn obviously helping other people as well, and raise awareness on the subject. So that is me. I do have my 5-year-old son Elliot, who is my world. He is amazing. So yeah, he keeps me going, keeps me busy. So yeah, that's me.
You speak quite a lot about how difficult it is when you've already got a child, especially when you've got an audience.
Yes.
About people saying, well, you've got one, isn't that enough? Could you tell us more about kind of what messages you get regarding that?
It is really hard because you get kind of like imposter syndrome, like talking about infertility, talking about loss. And people go, well, you have a child, like be grateful. Some people will never have that. You're lucky. And 100% I know I am so lucky, like, and I like count my lucky stars every single day that I have Elliot. But I'm allowed to say I want more. I'm allowed to say I would like another child. I said to one of my friends the other day, I'm actually still hopeful I'll have 3 children. So, you know, that's still in my plan. And I think it's really important that people feel that they can say that, because it doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 children. If you're experiencing infertility and if you're experiencing miscarriage, you're still allowed to say it hurts, and you're still allowed to say you want more. And it did take me quite a while, I think, to kind of come to terms with that. It was okay to say that, but it definitely is okay to say it. But so
definitely.
yeah,
and I think you're amazing for raising awareness as well. Like, there's so many people out there going through similar to you, and you're just helping so many people who may be going through it silently or alone. So I think you're amazing.
Thank you. I think you're amazing.
Oh, there's a whole lot of love going on here today. I love it. Carrie, tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm Carrie. My Instagram is Zach'sLife19, obviously because my child is Zach. So I pretty much started Instagram as a bit of an accident. Didn't really know much about Instagram before lockdown, and just kind of used it to keep family and friends informed. And it kind of spiraled from there, really. similar to Elizabeth, spoke a bit about our secondary infertility. No miscarriages, touch wood. But no second, third or fourth baby. So yeah, spoke a little bit about that as well. But now kind of just focus on the positives of having Zach. Really.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And you do lots of fashion stuff as well, which I
A
love.
little bit.
Dancing. And our episode that we did together is still one of my most highest listened to episodes.
Oh well.
Because we just cracked up the whole time. We did
couldn't stop
confessions and
laughing.
stories, didn't we, from the audience, and we were just like pissing ourselves laughing the whole time.
We couldn't even get sentences out.
Oh, no. The screenshots I've got of you are just hilarious because you're like all over the place.
And that one.
I know. Yeah. Oh my God. And then every now and then I'll just post one on my Instagram and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. You posted the one about the farts the other day and she's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
So she farted in labour in the midwife's face. That's
Yeah, that's that story. I mean, it wasn't intentional. I'd had an epidural, okay? I had no control.
There are more stories coming out. Like there's so many more to come out. I
many.
cannot wait for them to come out. And on that note, who's up? Who's going first on
Carrie,
the wheel then?
'cause I went first.
God.
Go on then.
I'm actually so scared.
I'm nervous for you. So, would you rather be trapped on a desert island by yourself for a week or trapped in a lift for an hour with your children?
Trapped in a lift.
What?
we were talking about this.
Did you understand the
And there's a
question?
gasp.
Did you understand clarification?
Yeah.
The island.
Yes.
Is it like Ibiza vibes? Is it Lost vibes?
It's whatever you want.
Is Channing Tatum there?
The island I picture
Yeah.
is a desert island in
Okay,
the middle
so
of
with
the
lions
sea.
No, it can be what
with,
you
you
want
know-
it. There can be mojitos. There can be a naked butler. Like whatever you want it to be.
Okay, I mean in
Mum.
that case an island.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean
yeah.
in my mind, an island
we
took
were
me
worried
to
we
a
were literally
deserted
like,
place.
you know, like
Yeah.
Tom Hanks with Wilson. And that was our thought process
was a hard
for that
no.
question. I was like,
Is it
I
bad?
can't do
I
it.
still prefer that. I'd be there with my Wilson. I'd be there with my Wilson. Like, I'm happy. But yeah, I love that. That's so funny. But a lift with your kids for an hour. I mean, yeah. One child, two of my kids would end up fighting and killing each other, and I'd be like, oh fucking hell, pass me the mojito on the beach.
I mean, it probably depends if I've got signal as well, because
Oh
you know,
yeah,
Netflix, Disney
Let me have
Plus.
to check
we're here.
Instagram.
How would you check your stories?
No, I mean I would just give my phone to Zach.
Oh yeah, YouTube Kids. There you go.
Yeah,
Sorted.
perfect.
Sorted. Shu, you're up, Elizabeth.
Okay, I'm sweaty. What way do I spin it? Does it matter?
Whatever way you want. No one's had too much of a juicy one yet. What would your 3 wishes be?
Oh no. My 3 wishes would, without getting emotional, would be to have a sibling for Elliot. Cue the laughter. That would definitely be my wish. And then my other 2 wishes would just be for my family to always be happy and for my family to always be healthy. And that would be enough. So if everyone could just manifest that and bring those wishes to life, that would be lovely. But yeah, they would be my wishes. I think I'd probably put health, happiness, and then the sibling, because that I'm trying. It's taken me a very long time. I'm really trying to focus on what I have without getting too emotional about what I don't have. So yeah, but they would be my wishes.
It's amazing.
And if Channing Tatum could come along with
grant
that,
your wishes.
that would be fine as well.
He'll be part of your happiness.
He would be. I don't know why I've got such an obsession with him.
He is beautiful.
I just love him.
Yeah,
him.
he's
Like,
beautiful.
he's
He's beautiful.
just-
I need a new
beautiful man.
celebrity crush because Zac Efron's not doing it for me anymore.
Still.
I do still love him, but I need a new one.
know
So
when you
Channing
know-
Tatum might be.
I mean, mine's Simon Cowell, so
Are you okay? Lift with her child, Simon Cowell.
Is this pre or post Botox? Like,
I mean, just any time really.
yeah.
Question for you. When you watch High School Musical now with Zac Efron,
He still does it for me.
but he's like 50.
Yeah, he still does it for me.
It's a bit weird.
Be my toy boy.
Because I now watch things when the actors are really young, or like I'll watch Love Island. And I'm like, you're 21.
No, Zac
like,
Efron in High School Musical still does it for me.
Yeah. He's a good.
Cut it out. Do I sound like a pedo now?
No.
Right, ladies. Thank you so much for coming to the couch.
Love you.
And next up on the couch is Holly and Skye. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
You okay? Getting on with the
Oh, this is
prosecco?
comfy.
It's nice, isn't it? It's a lovely couch.
Lovely.
So, Holly, tell us a bit about you.
I always think that's a hard question because I've lived 300 years, I think. I started out as a TV actress, and I'm now a no-nonsense self-development coach. I don't believe in toxic positivity or any of that nonsense. I like very direct self-development that's actionable, and I'm the founder of the Happy Me Project, and I say that my job is to help people to feel more happy and less crappy, and it's a great job. And I'm a mum. Yeah, thank you. And I'm a mum of 2 girls, so I've got my daughters are 13 and 11, and they're sassy as hell. Brooke and Texas, they're amazing. And I also, to be the fun sponge of the room, I'm also a widowed mum as well. So my husband died of brain cancer when we were 32, so that's the shit side of things. But actually what propelled me into self-development, although I'd done it for years for myself, being an actor and, you know, growing up in that world. I was 11 when I started in TV, and growing up in that world, you need to kind of work out how to bounce back. So I did it for myself, and then when Ross was diagnosed with brain cancer, I then started to talk about it, and that kind of brought me into my new world of self-development.
Something good came from it then.
Yeah, something
came.
absolutely, and I definitely think that like this like purpose in the pain kind of thing. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you've taken something so painful and turned it into something so positive, not only for you, but for everyone else around you as well. Because your book is fucking incredible. And you guys have all got a copy of it
you
today.
have. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
But you
Please
guys are
post
all
it.
gonna love it. It is just so good. And the way you talk about it with no bullshit is amazing. I think sometimes out there it can, especially on Instagram, there's so much toxic positivity.
There's a lot of fluff, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of fluff.
And
a
when
lot
we're
of
in
fluff.
the midst of our shit
Yeah.
stuff, the last thing we need is either one, people being sanctimonious and giving us too many like super intelligent stuff where we're like, I'm literally like on my arse here, like I need some. For me, it's what is the low hanging fruit that we can do today so we actually feel a bit better. And then this is all the knowledge that I have, and I condense it into making it as relatable and in like real life as possible. Otherwise, what's the point? And I really believe, you know, when I started in questioning why do I do this stuff and why do I do self-development, really for me it comes down to it's not enough for me to just be happy. Like it's not enough for me to have the, you know, the keys to kind of getting through stuff. For me, it's such a driver that I'm like, when I see, like, you know, we're here with amazing women, like I see people, I'm like, I can see all your potential and I need to find a way to help you to see it.
And if you've got that, why wouldn't you share it anyway?
100%. And that for me is such a driver. Like that gets me, like it gets me excited and it gets me up in the morning to do that stuff.
Well, you're the reason I'm here. You know that, right? Holly was my life coach, and I had so much imposter syndrome about starting this podcast, and here we are today at my 100th episode. So, yay,
I love it. Well, I'm just like obviously just in awe of everything that you do, and I think you're fabulous.
But you pushed me so hard to do all this stuff that I was like, absolutely fucking no, I can't do that. Like, I'm nobody. And then you pushed me, and now I'm here. And I'm just
hello.
like,
There's nothing. I mean, goodness sake. You're amazing.
Can I hire you? Immediately.
everyone needs to
Oh, I
know.
should have said my Instagram as well. At I am Holly Matthews. I know we should probably say
There
that.
you
So,
go.
if you want to come say hi.
Your email is going to be like ping, 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 ping. And there's a reason I put you two on the couch together, because you are very similar in what you do. I feel like you talk a lot about like mental health and the realistic side of it as well. So do you want to tell us a bit about you?
So I'm Skye. My social is at mummysmental, and you can take that in any way you like. But yeah, so talk a lot about motherhood and mental health. I'm also like doing mentoring at the moment for mums, mainly like in the early years of, you know,
leaning into becoming a mum and their new identity, if they want a new identity, because some obviously really want to grasp onto their old, but you do kind of transform when you become a mum into
By default. Can't help
yes so so there's that, and I'm also training to be a counsellor as well. I'm halfway through my counselling training, so that's me. Thank you.
I love the mummy's mental.
I know.
Hard resonate.
But it's amazing what you do, and you're opening up so many things about motherhood. I'm always commenting on your posts like, oh my God, I can relate. Even if I don't know that I relate, it's like you...
The eye-opening.
Yeah, the eye-openers about motherhood, that you don't realise you're doing those things, and you're like, shit, that's me.
And all the stuff that's behind it, the reasoning behind it, the years and generations of conditioning and everything. Yeah, it's really... I find it so interesting. It's like, you know, when you've got a subject and you just go, oh my God, this is what I was made for, and it's just you grasp onto it. And I've gone into a rabbit hole for years about it, and it's just I'm so passionate about it. But it's really hard to know like what to share, because it can be really quite triggering for a lot of people, and for them to be scrolling Instagram just trying to have a, you know, look at who's wearing what, and then going, oh my God, I'm traumatised from when this happened, from this, and so it's really hard to know what to share.
But you make it relatable though. I've seen your posts and stuff as well, and I do think you get the balance right, and I think we all probably feel that a bit, like the weight of what's the right amount.
And like you, like trying to get that fun in it as well. So I try and do some funny stuff as well, so like add a bit of a meme about how traumatised we all are. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be fun.
But look how funny we are, because
that's not a coping mechanism at all. Like,
I think sometimes you've got to be a little bit triggered though to actually be like, change. Shit, I need to do something about that. So I'm always scrolling your stuff. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm personally attacked right now, but then I'm like, no, actually I can change that
but
now.
Then you can work on it, can't you? Once you've got that, it's such a balance, and trying to find that balance as well. Like when we're posting nice things like we're doing today, where everyone's glitzy and glamorous and all of that.
That's not real life.
It's a tiny chunk. Like it's real for us, and we're really doing that stuff. But equally, it's that balance. And I'm so conscious. You know, my world has been on some kind of platform since I was 11, so I've always felt that kind of weight of that. Like, yes, there's fun stuff that happens, but equally, like, this is the shit as well. Like, there's also mess and chaos and all of the stuff we've already talked about today, and it's kind of a balance. But I think you get a good balance of that.
Thank you.
Definitely. On that note, ladies,
Wheel of
Wheel of misfortune, because of some of the questions.
So I only really looked at this today. So
good luck with that.
We'll see where we go. Oh.
If you could pause time.
Oh, if I could pause time. I was just like pausing, freeze.
If you could pause time, what would you do?
I mean, that just feels so vast for my
I know, right?
So
everything.
This was like last night. Like I got time off from my kids, and I just sat there eating curry. So is that what I would do in a paused time?
Yeah, like if there's something that you want to achieve that you've not been able to achieve because you're busy.
I literally think pause time would not help me at all. Because I mean, I know we've said ADHD 3,000 times, but this is like people that do the stuff that we do.
Usually have ADHD.
And as a person with diagnosed ADHD, and I didn't take my medication today because we're having a drink. So we get
fun,
I think pause time doesn't support me at all. I'm better with less time, and I will achieve more. But pause time, maybe what I would do in pause time is what I would paint things, and I would just paint. Like I'm very artistic, and creativity is my like way of like getting out of my head. But I'm currently already manifested my whole garden being basically just rainbow coloured. So I would do that. If it was pause time, that's where I would start, and I would enjoy
stuff that doesn't get done, like
the stuff that
in life.
I would do something that is not in any way shaping my life, other than it would be really fun and dopamine. So that's what I would do.
Love it. Skye, you're up.
I'm nervous.
Pressure, I know.
Something you've learned about motherhood.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that one. I rehearsed this one in the car.
Well done.
No, it would probably be that. And now I've forgotten it.
She rehearsed it, you just say what you feel.
I did. That everyone is like just such an individual. So I thought like, okay, so now I'm mum, and now I'm, you know, this is what I'm meant to achieve in life, and actually there's no sort of end destination, end product of a me that should be like the perfect mother, perfect healedness, like Mary Poppins kind of a person, that it's all actually just a journey of learning for all of us. Motherhood really shook me, was like, hold on, Mary Poppins isn't real. What? Like, what? Hold on.
Like that? And why are my kids terribly feral?
Yes, what is going on? Why isn't this spoonful of sugar working?
It does work a little bit, right?
So yeah, I would probably just realise, that's what I've learned, is just the realisation that I'm on a journey, not a destination. So
that's such a
I
good
love that.
answer.
That's beautiful. Amazing, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming to the couch. Yay. Up next, we have Rachel and Claire. Hello, ladies. Hello. How are you doing?
Thank you.
You good? Your hair's both like in sync today. I love it. Got all the Albany vibes going on. Did you? Beautiful.
And mine's natural.
Oh, love it. Who wants to go first with telling us a bit about yourself?
Well, we kind of come together.
I know, I was going to say, you're a bit of a like
we do.
package deal going on here.
So we do a podcast together, Just a Mum podcast, which we started and then obviously came to you as guests together.
You're my first three-way.
That takes us nicely to where we met in the army, which is like lots of that business going on. We're both nurses in the army. My husband's going to watch this, isn't he?
Yeah.
We were both. So nursing, which obviously you're nurse as well. So yeah, we're both nurses in the army. We met in training. And then we hadn't really sort of both left, had children, and then it was Instagram again, sort of like messaging each other like you do, liking each other's posts, sharing the same mum memes and thinking, and we were like, you wanted to do a podcast for ages.
Yeah, because that was like our main career, being in the army, and then we both became mums, and then just stopped everything, and then it was like, even now I'm like, I don't even know what I want to do now. I've picked up and put down so many things.
Yeah.
So and I think we're still finding, we had a break for a year on the podcast and we've just restarted it. So we're trying to, we're still trying to find our feet with what it is exactly we want to do next.
I love that you just have a chat though. You just go on and like, what have you been up to this week? Like chat about whatever, chat about motherhood, and you talk about a lot about neurodiversity and stuff like that as well. So I love that you just have a chat.
Because that's what we said. When we had our break, we didn't know we got a bit bogged down, with finding a niche and having a thing, and we had a little bit of advice where they said find your niche. There's no female army podcast, use that thing, and we're like, but that's not us anymore.
But we didn't want to talk about that. I felt like once I left, I literally dropped all of that. Like I've not done a day's fitness in my life since I left. And now it's like that is another life. And it's weird looking back, and now I'm like, and now I'm transitioning, I think, from being just a mum, that's why it's called Just a Mum. And now it's like, right, what's the next era of my life? What am I going to do next?
Exactly. Because I think so many people tell you to niche down to something specific, like an army podcast. But actually, when you niche down, it excludes so many people. And with you guys and your podcast, how it was before you had your break, it's just like a chat. And people can relate to so much of that because it's what they're doing in their normal life, and it's relatable, you know? So I think that's a great idea.
It's like just recording the coffee chats, isn't it? And I think as mums, it's like we just, even for us, it's like, right, if we're going to record one day this week, we're trying to be a bit more, pin it down. But this week we were like, actually, is it Easter holidays? Where are we? We looked on our moon app and we're like, if we synced, it's not the right week. Let's have a break. It's Easter.
I'm being in luteal phase.
So
we're like, let's have a break.
Oh my God, no.
Whereas
not doing it.
Doing a podcast in luteal phase is not the one.
No.
I'm just like,
So we're like, actually, we should look at that and maybe record a few together when we're feeling great, and then have, so
you've got
we love all that mentioned before.
It's got to happen.
I think we nearly have.
There you go.
Friends on the app.
We have synced at the minute.
I think we have Pink Witch. But love all that, and the things that have been mentioned and with other guests and that, it's just like, oh my God, are we all just the same person?
Because I think a lot of us are probably ADHD into periods. Like there's probably
is it just something going on? Because
loving it. Because that's what women like this, like we're go-getters, you know. We just have this crazy like monkey, I call it, in my head, which is ironic because we're in Cheeky Monkey Studios. But I have this monkey in my head that's just like go, 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 go. And I'm like, I can't shut the thing up.
It's the opposite of the one where they're just going ding, not thinking of anything.
Yeah.
No, that's it. And I think it's just brilliant to all like get together and bounce off ideas and chat to each other. Definitely. And that's kind of what we do on our podcast.
We have like common themes though, don't we? So there's like the struggles we've had around motherhood, with mental health, the neurodiversity thing. Law of attraction.
Law of attraction, we like that. Yeah,
we love that. Yeah. Although I've fallen off the bandwagon, I really have. I need to get back on it. Yeah. Because we're in the same book club, aren't we? Are you still in there?
I'm not.
No.
I'm in the club, but I don't do the book.
Yeah, same. So. I'm just a ghost
trying to fit it all in.
I just watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
right, who wants to do it first?
We go first. The noise sat there has been making me anxious. Click, 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 click.
Oh, did you poo during labour? The poo one's coming out a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I said when we were talking about it before that I think if you have a really good midwife, you shouldn't know.
Yeah. So they just scoop it up and you're like.
I have done it 3 times though.
Pooed or have children?
Just 3 poos. My whole life.
Possibly.
Just 3 children, so it's highly likely, but 2 in water, 1 not. Yeah. So I think definitely the middle one I know I didn't because I didn't see it. But in the water it's hard with all the other murky stuff as discussed. But again, I think good midwife you shouldn't know. Yeah. So that's where I'm going with that one.
Definitely.
Right.
Ben.
Go on. But it's going to be one I don't want.
You're going to get there.
We need some juicy ones up in
here.
here.
The juicy ones.
There you go.
What is that one?
Would you rather never have sex again or have sex every day?
God.
You two have got some juicy ones.
Never
have sex ever again or have sex every day.
Or every day.
I mean, if you'd have asked me this
when
I was a bit younger,
every day,
I would have said every day. But I'm like, well, I'm a single parent at the moment, so I'm kind of in a celibacy period anyway, and I don't really miss it. Yeah. But like, is that because?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The less you do it, the less you want it. The more you do it, the more you want it.
Yeah, that's true.
Never.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting older as well. I like my bedtimes. I like my jammies.
It's like, don't touch me. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, and I get really touched out by the kids. I said pre-kids it would have been every day. Now I don't know if I'd lean over to never.
Yeah.
Because I just like.
Do we go like 60-40?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Well, thank you for coming to the couch, ladies. Okay, next on the couch we've got Josi and Emily. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hi, great. Yeah.
Good. Welcome. Josi, do you want to start by telling us a bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Josi. I am a mum of 2 little girls. They are fabulous. They are very sassy. I always say they're gonna do wonderful things someday, or they're gonna rule like a drug gang or something. I'm not quite sure which way it's gonna go, but they've really got that like sass that I think a lot of toddlers have. So yeah, my account is called The Sage Mama, and I actually met Lottie because I still have, it's on pause at the moment, a business for coaching women through emotional eating and helping them kind of overcome that relationship with food, and
which I haven't. So,
so getting to that like, you know, happy place of like feeling good in yourself, and you know, if weight loss is a goal, then fabulous, but doing it rather than like, you know, counting stuff and putting everything into apps all the time, like being able to intuitively eat in a way that feels good and enjoy what you're doing rather than it being like a chore, because let's face it, we have so many things to do already. And actually a lot of that comes through, it all started because my background was in life coaching, and it came through actually a lot of the people I was speaking to, it had nothing to do with the food. That was just something they were using to control the fact that they were unhappy with their circumstances. And so actually the life coaching element of sitting down with them, being like, what do you actually want? Like what's missing from your life, or what do you want more of? And when people work that out, the food issues kind of sort themselves out, because all of that is like a crutch really for, you know, the fact that they're unfulfilled in some way, or they feel like they're missing something. So it's really a 2-pronged approach of helping them work out what's missing, but actually giving them that freedom to move away from the really strict kind of diet culture and be able to manage food in a really positive way that actually feels good. But I kind of burnt out last year, I'll be honest.
But you did have a baby.
I did.
Was it last year or the year before?
Year before.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything's been a little bit crazy life-wise, so it's all a little bit on pause. But so at the moment, I'm just sharing kind of what I'm doing and life, and just trying to, I always say this about like finding your sparkle again, and that's something that I'm just trying to do. I'd love to do the business again, I absolutely will, but I think the kids just need to be in a slight different, I don't know who was talking about seasons of life, but I feel like this is a real season of life where I'm just like, do you know what? I'm going to just take a step back and try and really enjoy it.
You just sometimes you just need to press it, don't you? And then like take a step back to then move forward, either through a different door, through the same door,
100%.
just so that you can like actually have a moment where you can be like,
and I think it was forced on me because I was like really pushing quite hard last year, and it was going really well, and I had loads of momentum in the business, and then the kids both got ill at the same time, and and you're like, I can't even move because there's like sick over there and there's something. And I just was like, right, I'm gonna have a couple of weeks to just like regroup. And I finally felt like I could breathe. I realised how long I'd just been like, go. And I'm all for, working on stuff constantly. Like I do have that monkey in my head that's just like constantly on the go. But I think I realised just how much I was like, oh my God. So yeah, we're just muddling through right now.
I love that. Sometimes you just need to take a step back, don't you? Like I was talking to some of the girls earlier about, I took a break from the podcast last year, and then I've come back, and that's when it feels like the magic then happens, like when you actually come back to it.
You've been forcing it,
otherwise you're just kind of like constantly like on this treadmill, aren't you? And you're just like, oh God.
And you want to jump off of it.
Like,
exactly. Not off of like anything.
Not in a bad way.
But like where you're saying about the treadmill, like you just feel like you're going and going and going, and you're like, when is this over? So then when you actually come off, you can be like, oh, actually I did enjoy that part, so I'm gonna go back to it.
It stops you enjoying stuff, doesn't it, when you get to that place and you're like, actually I love doing this is like the business that I've really dreamed of, like why am I now resenting it? So it just gives you a chance to reset that, as you said.
Definitely. I love that. Emily, tell us about you.
So I'm Emily. I run the Mum Practitioner. Previously I was in early years and was an early years teacher, and then lockdown happened. I managed to have another child, both through IVF. So that's a long story. And then I just realised I couldn't do it all. I couldn't be with 26 preschoolers in the day and come home to 2 children and give everything. So I stepped back and found a new job. It's kind of still in education, but and then I started the Mum Practitioner just to share what we were doing during the lockdown, and then it slowly sort of developed into just sharing motherhood, because although I love sharing all the play stuff, like it is still something that I really enjoy. There's a reality of it now, whereas before I was setting up something like nearly every day, I got to a burnout and I was like, who am I actually doing it for? What do they actually get out of it? And sometimes just chucking a whole load of cardboard boxes in the lounge, actually that was much more beneficial than having this beautiful Peter Rabbit tray all set up with rice and little rabbits and bits and bobs. So I've literally sort of pulled it right back, and I say now I'm all about like making it simple so that it's actually relative to your day as well, and that you're not cleaning up 1,000 things straight after as well.
Because we've spoken about this before, haven't we, about these beautiful tough trays with like coloured rice
that was me.
Foam and all these beautiful things, and it's like, okay, it's beautiful, the kids probably love it, but in reality, who has the time to set all this up, to colour all that rice, and then to tidy it up 30 seconds later when the kids have had enough of it? So I love
still finding rice like
I know, and finding it in their nappy where they've decided to eat some like hard rice.
Oh my goodness, or the dog, because I have a beagle and he eats everything,
including his own shit.
Including his own shit, that's the best kind, when he's come in and he does like this old man burp in your face, and you're like, oh.
He did it to me. I was like, oh, you're so cute, I want to give you some love, and he's like burped in my face, and I was like, I don't love you anymore.
So yeah, my other child.
Yeah.
Because I basically have 4 because our husbands count, right?
Yeah. That is definitely a third child. The husband. Yeah,
exactly.
Definitely. But yeah, I love that you're sharing the more simple stuff, because sometimes it is as simple as just chucking something in a room, and they, like the other day, one of my kids turned my dining room chairs over upside down and we're using it as a slide, and I was like, it kept him entertained for like an hour, and I was like, you go, and have a cup of tea,
and
enjoy.
actually, like, developmentally wise, they learn so much more from having a bit of independence in their own play, but also having something so simple that they can build off of instead of walking into something that is fully set up. Because like, realistically, and I don't have it against anybody that still does them, I love also scrolling through Facebook and seeing it all, but actually, who is it for? Like, is it for followers or is it for the child that's actually getting to play? So I've like distanced myself from that more, because you get to, especially as a mum of 2, like, I don't know how anybody does it, sort of like, I just about handled it with my first and then added another one. It is crazy. Like, how are you supposed to balance all your time and make it so that it fits one child and not the other? Like I said, you chuck out a cardboard box and that's both of them happy.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Who's going first for the wheel then?
Oh, I will.
Go on then. I want a juicy one for you because you're a prude.
Oh.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, but you know which one it will be.
I know.
So is
never have sex again or sex every day, and I know the answer already.
Never again?
Yeah!
I am such a, like, pyjamas on. Like, the other day, we came home from school, and I was like, let's get our pyjamas on, guys, get all snuggly. And my husband was like, oh, they're nice pyjamas. I was like, don't even think about it. No.
Not for you.
I'm done today.
Last night, I was getting ready for this, and I was putting cream on my face. I was like, you know, the full like girl thing, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to cream my face and go to bed. And Alec was like, can I cream your face? Seriously? I was like, no. Just point blank, no, that's it, done. So yeah, I'm an ever again girl too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alec.
Yeah.
Josie, you're up.
I love that. Right, okay.
Would you rather be trapped on a desert island for a week or a lift for what is it? A lift for an hour with your kids?
Island, sorry.
Yeah. I'm an island girl too.
This is like all inclusive.
I take a desert island.
I don't really have that many requirements. No, I mean, I'd quite like some like fresh juice or coconut water or something, but like I don't have very high expectations of the island.
You could do a 36-hour fast. You know, find some coconuts. It'd be great.
Some nice
bit
long
of a
like
detox.
grounding walks.
I'm down for that.
Easy.
Yeah. Cool.
Just send me to Disney.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah. Amazing, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Up next, we've got Leane and Hayleigh.
I'm going to fall down the hole.
The hole? Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Fabulous. Could you start, Leane, by telling us a bit about yourself?
I can, yes.
Where am I supposed to look? Look at me, look at Hayleigh, look at, like, glance around. Glance around.
I'm Leane. I started my Instagram and my YouTube, Baby Bell and Mummy, back when my 3-year-old was 4 months old, just to sort of share my experiences with my awful pregnancy and my horrendous labour and my struggles with breastfeeding, and then it's just sort of gone on from there. Obviously still doing, I'm really out of breath. Still doing the Instagram, still doing YouTube, I have a website, TikTok, and I run an Etsy shop as well, so quite busy.
So you know we were talking about the monkey. You've got one too.
I've got one, yeah. Even when I'm trying not to, it's just there constantly. And again, you know, it's going to sound like a broken record, but I'm currently going through ADHD diagnosis as well.
I think I just attract you all.
I think you must do. So obviously being unmedicated means that there's nothing to stop that drive to get stuff done. I experienced burnout as well. I think it was last year, maybe the year before, I can't remember. So but there is a lot going on, and just kind of keeps me occupied, really.
Yeah, amazing. And you share like your day-to-day mum life on your page, your days out and things, which is really nice for people just to relate to what's going on in mum life.
Yeah, it did start off with, there were a lot of negative stories that I shared because that's what my experience was. So now trying to make it a little bit more, not, you know, just the highlights and stuff, but try not to, there's not as much negative stuff going on now. So just try and be, without sounding cliche, realistic.
Yeah. That's the thing is though, I think when you're in early parenthood, like pregnancy, labour, you know, the early days, there is a lot of more difficult stories, and your page does tend to grow in that time because I think people relate more to the negative stories. Yeah. And then when you get out of that difficult period and you're into, like, you know, the toddler years, maybe a bit older than the toddler years, the growth tends to slow down and people start to fizzle away, and it's like
boring.
Yeah, boring. Oh, you're not relatable anymore because you're like
your life is going okay.
Yeah. It's like they don't like us doing okay in life.
I think people are genuinely like nosy and like to see the not so good stuff, don't they? Just to I don't know. It's like, why do people watch EastEnders? Because nothing good happens in that, is there?
No. People are always jumping off stuff in EastEnders, aren't they?
I watched it for a while.
I've never really watched it, so I can't say.
Oh, amazing. Well, Hayleigh, could you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Hayleigh. I've got currently 2 boys, my 3rd on the way.
Making me tired just thinking about it.
3 years apart, so it's going to be absolutely chaotic in my house soon. And basically, I suffered really badly with postnatal anxiety after I had my 2nd. And I kind of wanted to go on Instagram and share that with other mums so they didn't feel so alone if they were going through the same sort of thing as me, because I found I struggled to find other mums that were posting about it that much, because not many people want to talk about like the negatives all the time and things like that, and how difficult it can be to have to go on medication every day or have like things like intrusive thoughts, which for me were absolutely horrendous, and kind of work out when it was okay to ask for help. And then since I started doing that, I'm actually now doing coffee mornings for mums that are free to attend. And I managed to get in different health professionals each month for my coffee mornings, which goes really well. So they get the support that they wouldn't normally go out and find themselves or be able to access because it's too expensive. And it's just a nice safe place for them, which I'm really enjoying.
I love that, because quite often with postnatal anxiety you need a safe space to go that's familiar, that's not too scary, because so many intrusive thoughts and worries will come into your head that will stop you from going to places. So you've created this safe space that people can go to and mingle, and I guess get a little bit out of their comfort zone to maybe push them forward into being able to go to the zoo or days out and things like that.
Yeah, I was surprised by the amount of mums that came by themselves, not knowing anyone. Because if it was me 3 years ago before I had kids, I would never do something like this where I didn't know anyone I was coming to see today. But I found since I've had kids, I've become more confident. And I want to make sure that other mums kind of get the similar experience where they feel like they can kind of embrace being on their own and doing things by themselves with the kids or without the kids, and feel comfortable in what they're doing.
Yeah, definitely. But it is so hard, isn't it, with intrusive thoughts just kind of taking over your brain, and the simplest thing, like a little walk to the shops, can become like this massive thing. So I absolutely love what you're doing. It's amazing. Who wants to go first on the wheel?
I'll go first.
Go on then, get it over and done with. Are we going to get a juicy one?
Oh, that was rubbish.
There's some that we haven't done yet. Favourite thing about being a mum? That's a nice one.
We'll continue with the theme of not being negative then. I think it is seeing that tiny person that you've created develop their own personality, and seeing like their likes and their dislikes, and sort of like, obviously I've got a 3-year-old. She is a typical 3-year-old. She knows what she wants, she knows what she likes, and it's just seeing that and just seeing her like starting to take on the world. I think that is probably my favourite thing.
Oh, that's so lovely. I love that. They get their own at 3. It's like when they start to get their character, isn't it? And they get a little bit sassy, a little bit of attitude.
I still haven't hit that stage yet.
Oh, no. Good luck with that. Good luck. Not long now. Hayleigh, do you want to have a spin? We should have had a sound effect there. Oh. Most embarrassing parenting moment.
So I always say that since having basically
everyone going up inside me during pregnancy. My embarrassment
what you were
gone
going to say
inside. But yeah, since then, my filter for embarrassment's kind of gone down a bit.
Yeah.
There was one time when I was breastfeeding my eldest. I was out in Starbucks. I was exhausted. He was cluster feeding. He fell asleep.
Yeah.
Came off the boob completely. And I didn't realise for like a good 10 minutes until some woman came to tap me on the shoulder that I'd flashed the entire coffee shop. And I was like, oh. And before that point, I was kind of self-conscious about breastfeeding out in public because it was quite a, not taboo subject, but some people are kind of funny about it.
Yeah.
I didn't really have the confidence, and actually it ended up giving me the confidence to be like, well, I flashed everyone once, like what's the issue? We're doing it again now, so
the whole of town see my tits, it doesn't matter.
So with my second, I was literally walking around feeding him as I like walking down the seaside and everything. It was great.
Oh, I love that. I feel like most breastfeeding mums would have had a tit out story, to be fair. Like
poor
whether
postman.
It's poor postman, or like out and about, they've had a tit out or whatever. So yeah, you're not alone. Amazing, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming on the couch. Okay, we're going to welcome to the couch Hannah, Magali and Fozia. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good.
This is a sparkly night going on here. I love it.
Well, we got the memo.
I know, you got the sparkle memo. Magali. Oh no, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Hannah, do you want to start by telling us a little bit about yourself? And today, how did today go? She was being a speaker at the baby show today, everyone.
I felt like a proper celebrity coming here and getting changed in the back of the car. My daughter said you're not like Baby from Dirty Dancing, but
take it.
So I'm Hannah from Sleep Well with Hannah, and I'm a baby sleep and parenting expert. How I got to sit here today spans about 30 years. Started as a paediatric nurse, nutritional therapist. I spent my 20s travelling around the world as a nanny for professional golfers, first class, private jets, all over the place. And what I learned from that was that you could have a baby that fits into your lifestyle. And I then nannied for a family with 9 children. One had a very sick baby, and we're to and from France. I was only about 23 at the time, and I remember flying to France with all of the children on my own. I can't believe that I actually did it now, but I did it. I remember driving a minibus to Stansted Airport and getting the flight over. I'm also a nutritional therapist, and I did craniosacral therapy as well. And then when the pandemic hit, I everything just went mental, and everybody needed me. So then I did a business course to learn to change my business from one-to-one to one-to-many, which is when I launched my Instagram and my Facebook community. And here I am today, sitting on the couch after talking at the baby show, and it all seems a little bit surreal at the moment.
What a life. And you help people now try and get some sleep, which is like a massive thing in motherhood, because I don't know what it is about kids. You know the term sleep like a baby? Where the fuck does that come from? Because neither of my babies have slept, so
like a husband.
Without the snoring though.
Oh, absolutely. When I first started helping parents parenting, I was mainly doing nutritional consultations, weaning, potty training, working for short start children's centres, doing lunchbox like ideas and things, like really random stuff. And everybody, I'd introduce myself and I said I was a nanny for. And everyone like, can I ask you about sleep? And that's how I became a sleep specialist. I didn't go out to become a sleep specialist, but all people wanted from me was sleep.
That's because all we wanted was sleep. We just wanted sleep.
And so I kind of fell into what I do. And now I do all of the other stuff, but 99% of my advice is surrounding sleep. But I'm not a sleep specialist. I'd never advise controlled crying. I don't advise leaving babies to cry out. I teach parents to teach their baby to sleep well in a kind and gentle way, in a way that fits into their lifestyle. So for me, my lifestyle was festivals from when they were 3 months old, holidays, going out. And they slept in the festival trolley at the back of the festival. And when I was a baby, I remember vividly, my parents had a a folk band called Mud Pie and Carrot. It was meant to be Magpie and Parrot, but the first people got it wrong, so it was Mud Pie and Carrot. And I remember sleeping in a sleeping bag on chairs at the back.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm all about now, having a baby that fits into what you do.
It used to be much more like that back then. Like I remember being at like weddings and sleeping under the table and stuff like that. But now if you get invited to a wedding, I tend to be like, oh, I don't want to bring my kids because I don't want to like bring them out of their routine. But that's why I need someone like you in my life to help me. But now I'm kind of past that stage, and they
leave
will
them in
just
the back.
sleep.
Yeah.
Go do your thing.
They'll be
Fall
okay.
asleep if you want. You'll be all right. All right. Anyway, Magali, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Magali. I am a mum, and I guess my profession is a yoga teacher, but it's difficult to talk about yourself. I really struggle with my profession because as a yoga teacher, I'm in the well-being industry, but I've sort of entered, it feels like the motherhood space is its own industry now. And I entered the motherhood space, so to speak, because I suffered quite severely with postpartum depression. And for me, that I really struggle to reconcile being a wellness expert, a yoga instructor. Oh, I practice meditation. I, do yoga. Surely I should know how to take care of myself. And yet I was not wanting to live life, and that's my journey, and that's where I live in this space. And that's me, but luckily we're beyond that. I'm here.
I think sometimes even with like the most training, like even a counsellor or someone who's done so much work on mental health and well-being, you can still be taken down by depression. So don't think badly of yourself for having struggled with that just because you're in the well-being space.
100%. I think now I consider myself someone that simply holds space for women through the practice of movement and breathing. For me now, my yoga practice and the way I teach is more about holding space for women to literally just breathe and move and feel, because I think when we're so busy, we've spoken about being beyond busy, we never give ourselves time to be like, how am I doing? Like, actually, beyond the, oh yeah, I'm good, it's a bit busy, it's a bit chaotic, but I'm good. How am I actually doing? And that's how I work now, just being able to like hold space for myself and hold space for women through the practice of yoga, to be like, give yourself permission to meet yourself where you're at, because it changes every day. We spoke about, the cycle earlier on, seasons of life, and every day changes. And I think acknowledging how you're feeling on any particular day can make such a difference to how you react, your work, just how you present yourself, how you show up for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your partner, friends, etc. So yeah, hi, that's me.
I love that. We definitely need to all do a bit more of that and focus on ourselves a bit more, but we don't. So we need a bit of Magali in our lives.
I'm here.
Fozia, you're up. Tell us about yourself and your fanny weights.
Yes, I'm Fozia Fanny Weights. It's a bit different. I think most people here are quite service-based, where I'm kind of
I wonder what you were going to say. Services about fanny weights.
No, so I'm currently Heal You Collagen. But before the collagen, my product was Fanny Weights, or Kegel weights as they're known. So I've always been in the female health realm, intimate realm, and then after the Fanny Weights was done with, I then had more issues in that area, and I needed collagen to repair. The product didn't exist. It was like, okay, now you need to go and get this strength collagen with this ingredient, with this. And I'm like, why doesn't this exist? So I was like, okay, well, I'll make it. So that's where we are now with the collagen.
And the most amazing collagen. I've been taking it every day since, and it's done amazing things.
The thing is, though, with most big companies, they would do loads of trials at the same time and then roll out the winning one. But I've been publicly documenting my journey. So I'm just having to like, hey, that manufacturer effed me over, that I have to try again, and I've been so public, but luckily the support's been amazing. And I finally, after a year, nailed the formula. Good to go. And now I'm looking at a menopause product. For my next one. Chris is trying to get me to do a man one. I'm like, you take this anyway.
my collagen anyway. You don't need it in a black bottle. This is a pink bottle. It's good stuff. It works. And it genuinely works. And I you know, since I got into this space, now I can't buy supplements.
Yeah.
I can't go into Holland and Barrett. So I'm like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You're spending this much on a gummy. It's got no ingredients in it. It's full of additives.
Yeah.
I've gone down this rabbit hole of like, I just know too much.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to develop something that my nan would take. Yeah. And I'm like, you can take this, and you know, my kids can take it. Yeah. It's clean, it's pure, it's transparent. I can tell you where the ingredients come from. Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit different to you guys, but
well, there's 3 people in this room that I know for sure that take your collagen every single day. So you're doing amazing things.
Thank you guys.
Well done, you. Who's first? Who's going?
Go on.
Go.
There's some that I really don't want.
That's a hard
what would
one.
you do if you could pause
pausing time.
That's a hard one.
It is a really difficult one because I'm not very good at being on my own, and I imagine pausing time means that I've got time to myself. And I always think it's a really good idea, you know, when you think, oh yeah, your husband and your kids are going out. I think, I'm just gonna like watch what I want on the telly, and then within about 30 seconds
you go out of your mind.
Right, who's around? Bernadette, are you here? Anyone up for a drink? Anyone want to go to the pub? So I think that pausing time for me, I don't think I'd like it that much, unless I could rob a bank or something like that.
Or pause time mid-argument so you can think of something to say.
Let's
Like your husband. I'll be like, pause. What am I going to say?
Because I usually think of it later and I'm like,
so annoying.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one. Right, who's up?
A good spin.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm nervous.
Would you rather never drink alcohol or never drink coffee again?
I prepared answers for all of these in the car. And my original answer was never drink alcohol, but now that I've had a sip of Prosecco, I'm like, fuck the coffee! Let's go!
I know you were saying when you got here, like, I'm so nervous. And you were so quiet, and I'm like, here she is. Struggling. She's arrived.
That's like you said, I'm not going to stay out.
So it depends on what day you ask me.
Love that. Fozia. Oh, would you rather never do housework again or have children that solidly sleep? Whoa.
Sleep.
There you go.
It's just, I mean, if I had sleep, then I could deal with, I could outsource housework, but I can't outsource my sleep.
This is true,
yeah.
Well, my book's in the room,
so
thank you. Take a free copy.
Can I swap you collagen for some Let's do that.
Oh, I love that. And just straight in there.
I wasn't even, I don't. Would anyone say housework?
Oh, I was going to say housework.
Oh, really? Housework.
Yeah. You can fix that.
Yeah.
Like this one's controversial, all the noise.
Yeah. Who knew this would be the controversial one?
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming to the couch. Okay, next up on the couch is Jade and Kayleigh. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How are we doing?
This is fancy.
You're fancy, my darling.
Oh, thank you.
How are you both doing? All right?
Yeah. Had a big quiche, living the best life. A little bit of heartburn after those sausage rolls, I'm not going to lie.
I know, but they were banging though. The food is ace, isn't it?
Really good.
Yeah. So, Jade, do you want to start? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I feel like I've got a bit of imposter syndrome after seeing everybody else before me. We've got some fantastic ladies here tonight, and honestly, you're all amazing. Me, who am I? So I was sat in the audience before thinking, oh my god, who am I? So I just started an Instagram page way back when I had Ruben. I just thought, I was buying all these things for baby, and I had kids way before all my friends, so I didn't know what was good, whose reviews do I believe and trust, and I thought, I'll just buy things and review them, and that's kind of how it started. And then I guess it morphed into something else. I started being open and honest, I guess, about my personal struggles, because I thought I'd had a miscarriage before even, and when I'd opened up about that, a lot of people had said me too. And it was friends, it was family members, it was all these people who I had no idea had losses. And then I thought, it's 1 in 4. 1 in 4 pregnancies, not 1 in 4 women. 1 in 4 pregnancies. And I thought, I've built this platform. Let's talk about it. Let's break the taboo. And so I speak about women's health in general. So I have endometriosis. That's why I've had fertility problems. And I think having Ruben kind of gave me this false sense of security that, I can have babies, that's fine. And then sadly, I had an ectopic pregnancy, a ruptured ectopic pregnancy, which happened in lockdown. So as I'm sure everybody in here is aware, maternity services went a bit to shit. Yeah. And although at this point we were allowed to go to the pub, that was all fine. We could go to the pub, we could go to the cinema. My husband couldn't come to hospital with me. So I'd had this ruptured tube. I'd lost over 1 litre of blood into my abdomen. I had to go through this emergency surgery alone. And it was traumatic. And it still is traumatic, reliving that, talking about it. But I thought, again, at that point, I was watching all these women, and not only women going through things like that, but just women in general, going in and having scans and this terror. And I thought, well, even if I'm just one voice that talks about my experience, although negative, I felt like it would help people. So that's kind of what I try and do with my page. I talk about loss, I talk about secondary infertility, and I talk about endometriosis, because although I don't want that to be my personality, it's a big part of my life. And I do think opening up and sharing these things, it stops it being a taboo, because why? Why are periods a taboo? Why are medical health conditions a taboo? And why is losing a baby something that we're meant to keep a secret? Because in my opinion, it shouldn't be. So that's kind of what my page encompasses. Because I think we should be having open and honest conversations.
Definitely. And I think sometimes by sharing it and other people feeling less alone, it also helps you to feel less alone. Because I know when I'm having a shit day with the kids and I'm like, oh, this is happening, and other people say to me like, I feel the same, I'm like, oh, okay, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, even though it's still such a shit situation.
It's opening up a conversation, and as I say, people who I never knew had been through the same struggles as me opened up, and that two-way thing, that connection with somebody and feeling like you're not alone is so important.
Definitely. I love that. That's one of the kind of positives about Instagram and the online space, really, is that we can become this community around the same sort of struggles. So I absolutely love that you're sharing that. Amazing. Kayleigh, you're up. You're giving me this grin over there. Tell me about you.
I am Kayleigh, founder of Mama Social Co, which is a parent organisation that combats isolation and loneliness in parenthood. Because parenting shit sometimes, and
true that.
It's okay to say that. My therapist said it's okay to share, so I will share. Mama Social was never a business. It was a way for me to not kill myself, and it's as direct as that. It's taken a long time to be able to say that. I found myself going out for walks all the time, as that's what we do on maternity leave. And this one day I didn't know that was what was going to happen. Had no idea. Went out and just didn't feel like I was even connected to my own self anymore, and just started matter-of-factly looking about of where to put Eva so that she could be found. Luckily, I didn't have a pram, because if I had a pram, I wouldn't be here right now. Couldn't put her down anywhere, so went home, and as soon as I opened the front door, it was like, boom, shit, I'm back. Like, what on earth have I just nearly done? That night went on Facebook, didn't even have Instagram at the time. Anybody finding parenting shit, I'm going for a walk at this time at this location tomorrow because this is not okay. Still didn't tell anybody about that moment. Really had so much guilt and shit. I'd nearly left my 4-year-old at the time, like, what on earth? Because I couldn't walk alone anymore. I'd made that decision. Turned up the next day and there was 9 mums stood. All looked as frazzled as me, just like, so I had a cry. And it grew arms and legs. And within the year that we've been doing it properly, we've now got 52 parent leads across the country, leading talk and walks, walk and plays, and 16,000 members. Wow. And it's because parenting shouldn't be just for people who can afford to have these things. Connection and isolation and loneliness
is for everybody. So there will never ever be a charge for the work that we do in the community, and that's why we partner with brands to support the journey of motherhood. And it's insane. I was a teacher 2 years ago, and now on this mission to fight the good friggin' fight.
I love that. You are just amazing. I think so many mums out there are going to benefit from that, because you do end up just suffering in silence sometimes, and without the online space, I think so many mums would just have done what you nearly did, because there isn't that support out there. There isn't like the village that we speak of so often. So you are creating the village in essence.
But the village life doesn't exist the way that it did for our parents and our grandparents. So we've got to find this new village, and that could be online spaces, connection with people. Like, we've had such a fantastic bond, and it's the first time we bloody met each other in real life.
Right.
And
It's the same as everyone in here.
It's not just having that traditional village life, because it doesn't exist. So create your own in whatever state that is, whatever season. We've said this a lot, and the work that we're doing isn't just for new mums. You're a mum forever. So there's always going to be that need for that connection. So
amazing. And you lot are now my new village, by the way. Just letting you know. Who's up on the wheel first?
Go on, I'll do it. There's lots on here I don't like, so let's see what. Oh, I think I give it a good spin, that one.
Yeah.
That was a good strong wrist.
Well.
Where's this going?
So this was.
Favourite thing about being a mum.
So the other one was the one I wanted the least, so we're good.
There you go.
I think for me, I don't know what I expected from motherhood, but there's this sense of pride with your children, and it's over the most daft things. Like, your kid will come home with the ugliest piece of artwork, and you're like, oh yeah, what is that? But this sense of pride in everything that they do, and that achievement, and then putting that back on yourself. Like, I created this little human, and look what they've done.
Yeah, I love that. It's beautiful.
Stunning.
Go on, Kayleigh.
Makes me eyes
You
go
need a
funny.
juicy one. This has been.
What is wrong with this machine?
Have another spin if you want. Go on.
I did.
Because we've had that one a lot.
And we all did. The midwife just lobbed it in a bag.
If you get it again, I think it's destined. You gotta answer that question. Worst parenting fail?
Well, full transparency, I only read these in there eating quiche. So I haven't had chance really to prep. But all that comes to mind is, and we've probably all done it, the nail clipping situation.
Yeah.
And both kids have had bits of skin cut off. But Eva's, the baby, the 2-year-old, it wouldn't stop. And it was a big chunk. And obviously it was when I was postpartum and PTSD, and it was a big thing for a long time. And I even rang my husband to come back home because it wouldn't stop. I was going, we have to go to hospital. And he's like, it'll stop, calm down. So yeah, just that probably.
Yeah, I think we've all done it. I did it to my daughter when she was teeny tiny, and she still won't let me cut her nails.
No.
I'm like, cool, that's daddy's job. But thank you so much, ladies, for coming to the couch. Okay, next up on the couch is Emma and Lauren.
Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Last time I saw you, you were headbutting me.
Some more of that later.
How are you both? All right?
Yes, all good, thank you.
Good. Could you start by telling us a little about you, Emma?
Oh, me first.
First of all, hang on. First of all, can we all just say and give Emma a big clap, because she's my sponsor for this video. And she's like, you've all said like how amazing this event is and how amazing I've done. She's also like the second half of this, so she's done loads of this as well. So well done, darling. Thank you.
Don't need to do that.
Now tell us about you.
So I am. Where do I start? So yeah, Emma first. So I'm Emma from Cover My Bubble. We are
an insurance broker. Hate saying that word, bloody hate it, but we are different. So basically our story is I'm a mum of 3, married to hubby Chris, who we've been together for 23 years, who I adore. He's my best buddy, love him, apart from Lauren, obviously. Get in trouble. Part of our journey is we were pregnant with a little girl. We were 24 and a half weeks pregnant and Lily was born. And unfortunately, she came early. She was really poorly with being premature. And we were just rushed into so many different hospitals. And it was just traumatic. And that's a whole different story of what we went through with Lily at the time. Now, due to obviously what we went through, I couldn't work. I lost my income into the family, which was like £1,200 at the time. I couldn't get off the settee. I drank alcohol because that just numbed the pain. I just wanted my baby. And I was also struggling looking after my other son at the time. I just didn't know what to do with myself. But then came the financial grief. We didn't have any insurance. We didn't know about what insurance were available. We didn't know if we could afford it or what we do. So part of our journey now, obviously bright and colourful, because Lily's our little rainbow, just covering other people's families with affordable insurances. And I shout about bump cover, children's cover, critical illness cover, income protection. There is so much more out there for families, not just life insurance, and it's so affordable. I'm on a mission to just basically shout about family insurances and what is out there for families so they don't go through what we do. And I love my job. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to insurances, but we do things a bit different, and that's when you see our Instagram over at Cover My Bubble and the silly reels and stuff that we've done over the years. So yeah.
And I just love you because you're out there to help people. You're just there for all the other mums that are out there that are potentially going through similar or haven't got insurance and could go through that. I spoke to someone recently on my podcast who didn't have insurance and lost her husband. And I think that it's just amazing that you have, again, and so many people in this room have done the same, turned pain into purpose. And I just think you're an amazing human being and I love you.
Thank you, cutie. Thank you.
Lauren, you're up. Tell us about you.
Hello, I am Lauren. Our stories are actually quite similar and they cross over quite a bit, but my Instagram name is The Honest Mum. And that came about because after I had my son Teddy, I had really bad postpartum depression. And I just felt like it's very different now, Instagram, than it was 5, nearly 6 years ago when everything was like perfect and everything was pristine and the house was clean and the baby was in these pristine clothes and my baby was covered in shit and I hadn't any clean plates and I was like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? So I was like, no, I'm just going to share the reality. And I shared this photo of me with like a Kinder Bueno wrapper stuck to my leg, just in these massive granny pants and holding like a shit-filled baby. And people were like, yeah, I feel ya. And that sort of morphed into me just sharing more about motherhood. As Emma says about Lily, we lost our son Leo, very similar situation. So he lived for 8 days. So I also talk about loss and pregnancy after loss and people saying, oh, you should be so grateful. You must be so grateful that you've got your kids. I'm like, but it's still fucking hard. Like, having kids is hard no matter when you have them. It's all relative to your situation. And then that sort of morphed into me creating The Honest Family, which is a mental health stationery brand that we built to help people navigating anxiety, depression, stress, grief, and using journaling to sort of go through that.
Yeah, amazing. And you've all got one of those journals in your goodie bags, ladies. Thank you, Lauren.
Get shit done.
Yeah. Get shit done. My daughter Bella was reading it the other day and she went, get shit, mummy. And I was like, don't blame me, that's Lauren. She's the naughty one. But I just think, again, you're turning your pain into purpose and creating this amazing thing and you're helping so many people out there. So many people leave the most amazing reviews on your page of it helping them. And I've got all of your stationery as well and it has got me out of a very deep hole. So thank you so much for what you're doing. And who's going to do it first?
Should we rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah. 2 right, okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, go.
Oh, do it.
Fucking cheat. I'll go first. You're a cheat.
Rubbish. Oh, please get a rude one.
I haven't even looked at the questions.
Please
just
get a good one.
Favourite thing about being a mum?
I thought I was going to get a juicy question.
I was hoping for it. Yeah, no.
Go on. It's not done many of the juicy
No.
ones. It's not putting out.
Not at all.
Wheel. Just going to. Oh, that's all right. Biggest motherhood pet peeve.
Would be, I think, the pressure of people feeling like they have to say, like even when you say like, oh, blah blah blah, did this today, but I love them, and it's like there's this like pressure to always be like, but I do like my kids, even like when you say something like they've been a little shit today, but I do love them. Don't you know? Don't worry about that.
People make you say that because they're like, but you chose to have kids.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah, so I think the pressure that, and even if other people aren't putting the pressure on, then you're putting it on yourself. Like you're always sort of comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah,
so I think that's
definitely.
probably my biggest pet peeve in life as well as motherhood.
Yeah. Go on, Emma.
Go on. Right. Okay.
Go on.
Sex one.
You really want the sex one? No. Later.
Oh, if you could put, do you want to spin it again as well? Because we've done that one like 3 times now.
Right. No, I'm going to get like
we need to have some of the different ones. Oh, we've had that one loads as well.
Go again.
Pause. No. That's the pause time one. We get a question. Oh, bother. Oh. Just put it on. Just put it on it. Okay. Oh. Now then.
Sex.
No.
Would you prefer sex or an early night?
Honest answer.
We are quite active. We do have a good sex life, to be honest. Me and my husband, we really do. So I do like sex, and we really enjoy it. And we have fun. To say we've been together for like 23 years, we're
like
we have an all right.
You sprinkle some
proper
sex
giggly.
magic my way, please.
Give you some tips. I think definitely the sex. Yeah.
Amazing. Love it.
Sleep after
See, it wasn't as juicy as you thought it was going to be.
That's for later.
Amazing, ladies. Well, thank you so much for coming to the couch.
Thank you.
Let's welcome Sophie, Lily and Jo to the couch. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay. Lily, do you want to start? Tell us about you.
Yes. Where to start? Oh my gosh, what a 3 years. So I am Lily. I have 3 under 3. Cue the so my oldest was 14 months when my twins were born. So I've got 3 girls. I came on your podcast, Lottie, obviously telling my twin story. So I had a really complicated, traumatic pregnancy with my twins, where basically about 16 weeks into the pregnancy, I found out that my twin 2 was unlikely to survive. And because my twins were identical, if one doesn't survive, then it's highly likely that the other one doesn't either. So they advised me to have surgery which would cut my placenta, meaning that my twin 2 would not survive, but my twin 1 would have like a 95% chance of survival. And I didn't go ahead with it because I just felt like it wasn't the right decision to make. I can't explain it. I wasn't like outwardly going against medical advice, but at the same time I just had this gut feeling like that's not the right decision to make. So I carried on with my pregnancy, and they were very much like, I think you're mental. But my twins were born at 32 weeks, completely healthy, no health conditions whatsoever, are now thriving, well ahead development wise and stuff. I'm surviving motherhood of 3 under 3, just about. And yeah, I kind of came on just to sort of raise awareness of that. I also run my own business, so I now run an online business helping other mums travel more and earn an income from home. And I basically thrive on chaos, in case you haven't noticed. I like to keep busy. I make my best decisions under high stress. So
good job, really.
It is good job.
Yeah. And your podcast episode is the #1 listened to episode on Tits, Tums and All Things Mum. I think because you said when you came on you hadn't actually told your story yet.
Yeah.
And you came on and you said it, but then afterwards you said you kind of felt like a almost like a breakdown where you've actually finally said it out loud and you're just like, oh my God, that actually happened to me?
It was the most surreal experience. So because Delilah, so my oldest Delilah was, when I found out I was pregnant, she was like 6 or 7 months old. And I was kind of going through all this while also trying to navigate being a first time mum, obviously. And I would turn up every single week and they would say to me like, I don't know why you keep doing this. Like, it's not likely they're going to survive. Next week we'll have to check again to see if there's heartbeats and stuff like that. And I shared that openly on Instagram, but like only, not cryptically on purpose, but just kind of to protect my own peace, really. And I was kind of like, oh, well, I'm just manifesting that I'm going to have August babies, that my twins are going to be here in August, they're going to be healthy. I can picture my life as a mum of 3. And I think my Instagram followers, my friends, my family were kind of like following along with that, but not really knowing like what else happened. And I always said to everyone, like, when the time's right, I'll explain my full story. But obviously, like, it was so traumatic, like, being brutally honest, it was like crazy. And every week I would just sort of turn up hoping for the best. And then when you were like, oh, come on the podcast and explain it, I did. And obviously everyone was so intrigued to hear like what happened. And afterwards, I think I cried for like 4 days after the episode, after the podcast episode, once I'd recorded it, because I realised that it was the first time I had ever spoken about it. I went to all this stuff, nobody offered me any time to talk, like no, and this is no disrespect to midwives or the maternity services or anything, because I think they're amazing, but they're so overstretched that there's just not place for it. And I had a 14-month-old baby at home, and I took home these 2 twin girls that were born 8 weeks prematurely. They were both on like ventilators, and it was, but you know, I was 25 at the time, so I was just like, what on earth am I meant to do with these 3 kids? Like, just moved out of my mum's house for the first time ever with my husband, and we were like, and yeah, I just kind of like thought I never had any time to kind of like deal with that and like speak about it, and I did. And then I remember I kept messaging you, didn't I? Like, I don't think we should put this episode live, actually. Should we pull it? So then to know that still now, after like 100 episodes, it's the most listened to episode, I'm like so grateful for.
You're amazing for sharing your story.
Thank
there
you.
will be other people who are going through similar that will listen and will, you know, have some like love for you for sharing that episode, even though you wanted to like take it back.
Actually, after the episode, so many people messaged me saying like, thank you for being so honest about that, because nobody talks about sort
the
of
ins and outs.
And not going against medical advice. I don't like to say that, because I did say to them like, is it safe for me to do this? It was safe, but it was like this, like we spoke about earlier, that mother instinct. Like, I knew that there was nothing wrong with my babies, and it was just a case of, if I kept both twins alive, they were both going to survive.
Amazing.
So yeah.
Oh, you're amazing. Well done. Sophie, tell us about you.
I am Sophie. I'm Sophie Callahan. I am a social media strategist for women running small businesses. And I feel like so many women are running businesses that they're really passionate about. And they have to take so much time out of that business to learn how to use social media strategically to get people to buy. And I take that away from them and give them the strategy that they need so that they can get back to doing what they're really good at and what they love doing. And just like empowering women to run businesses alongside being mums, and businesses that give them back freedom rather than take the freedom away from them. So that's what I do.
There's so much of that in like current society, isn't there? Like mums are wanting more time with their children. They're not wanting to go for like the 9 to 5. They're wanting to be at home. So there's so many like mumpreneurs popping about. And I love that. And I love that there's people like you out there that are helping mums to be able to do that.
And like listening to everyone's stories today, everyone's got such inspiring stories. And if I can help any of them to spend more time doing what they love, and also more time with their kids and at home. And you know, we often go into like self-employment for the freedom, and it actually becomes a bit of a noose around our neck. And we're like, what happened? I can go back to 9 to 5 and do less work. So if I help with that. And
I think I need some of that.
Social media.
I know. I'm like working till like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
that's not.
You can't help it when you work for yourself, though.
No, exactly. Well, I don't need to now because these guys do. But
also, I think when you love what you do, it's hard to be like, okay, I'm going to put this down and put it over there. But I think like
as much as a schedule and a work schedule and stuff is important, boundaries are just as important.
That's true.
So
I have none. I am just like that monkey that you keep talking about. That's literally in my head all the time. I'm like, what else can I do? And what can I do on top of that? And then what should I do?
Yeah. I think so many of us seem to be struggling with the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Should we do the wheel and then wait for Jo to come back?
I just look like I really love you now.
You do. That's why.
Okay, who's going first for the wheel?
I'll go first. Because I've decided that if I get a question I don't like, I'm vetoing it. So
it's been a lot of the same ones, hasn't it? That noise. Oh, the pause.
Should I do it again?
Don't do it again because you're going to get what you don't like.
Do you want favourite thing about being a mum?
Yeah, I can do favourite thing about being a mum. What is my favourite thing about being a mum? I would probably say now, because now obviously mine are at the age of like, so Delilah's 2.5, Florence and Iris are 1.5. And I feel like I'm getting so much back. And like Delilah will literally say to me, but before she goes to sleep every night, we do like her favourite part of the day and the hardest part of her day. And she'll say things to me like, my favourite part of my day was spending all of my time with you. And I just think like that, you know, when you put so much into being a mum, like it's always been my dream to be like a stay-at-home mum. Like it's although I'd also love running a business and stuff, it's always been my dream to be like the mum at home.
There for them.
Yeah. And like when you put so much in day and night and you go through like the first year of life, like, you know, and it's just like on repeat and you don't see that much in return. To then get to that age when they start talking back to you and they say things like that is like so rewarding for me. So I'd say that's probably my favourite thing about being a mum, like getting that back, the satisfaction of knowing that what you're doing is rubbing off well on them.
I love that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sophie.
Go on, Sophie.
I get a sex on, I'm blaming you.
There you go. Never drink alcohol or coffee.
I don't drink, so that's.
Do another one.
I don't drink coffee either. I just drink tea.
No.
I know. So.
I should have a bit of caffeine.
Yeah. I had 2 C-sections.
One more time. Third time's a charm.
Third time lucky.
I'm not really good at this game. Oh, I've just pinged a thing off.
Oh, so
never have sex again or sex every day.
I have not got time for sex every day. All stamina for sex every day.
Yeah.
Oh, but never
all
again.
The interest.
I mean, is my husband going to listen to this podcast? Probably not. So I'm going to go never again.
I think if we did a show of hands, most people would be never again as well.
Says Emma.
Hands up if you're never again.
Yeah.
Said that, you saucy minx.
If you want the orgasm.
That's what toys are for, hun. So Jo's had to run off because she wasn't feeling well, but thank you so much, ladies, for you two coming on the couch.
Thank you for having us.
What an amazing episode, ladies. Thank you so much for all of you for coming. You are all so inspiring and I'm so glad that I've got you all in my lives now. I feel like I've just attracted all of these amazing people and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you to everyone who is watching and listening at home as well. I can't believe we've made it to 100 episodes, but keep tuned because we're going to go to 200 episodes.